Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. My name's Amanda from Topic Cake Toppers, and this is my video on this baby dinosaur. Okay, so first of all, I'm going to make a pear shape for the body, and I'm going to pop a skewer through the body. Now for the head I started off with a round shape, and I'm just putting an indentation there with my fingers just to create the eye area. So I'm just pulling out at the jawline, just on either side, and I'm pulling the nose out. So I'm just using my fingers just to create that nose area and just to give him a little bit of cheek as well on either side. Just pressing down lightly just to flatten out that nose area on the top a little. I'm using my ball tool just to put indentations in there for the eye sockets, and I'm using my pointy tool just to create the nostrils. So also using that pointy tool, I'm putting a point on either side. This is where the mouth will be, and I'm just going to pull from point to point just to put in that indentation for the mouth. Find that nose area and mouth area a little. I'm just rolling that round in my hands just to take off that flat edge on the bottom where I've had it sitting on my mat. Just very gently rolling it around in your hands so you don't lose the shape. Sit that on the skewer just until it sets a little bit. Okay, so I'm just going to show you how I made the colour. I used a neon green. I will put a list of everything that I used in the description box below. Thoroughly mixing that in. I use vegetable shortening on my hands, and this helps to prevent the dye from sticking to your hands as much, and the fondant does get a little bit sticky, so it does help with that. Okay, so I'm going to use some Tylose powder. Just pop a little bit in the centre, and just mixing that all in thoroughly. The Tylose powder helps to give it a little bit more elasticity. It's a lot easier to work with, and it helps it to dry and harden and a lot more than it would if you didn't heat it in. I usually leave it sitting overnight. You can work with it within a few hours. So here I'm just making the leg. I've just rolled out a little log shape and made it thinner at one end, and the fatter end I've used to create the foot just by bending it up. So I've used my knife just to make the toes, and then I'm just rounding them off on the ends. So I've just put them on the body there, just to set a little bit. So I'm making the little piece that goes on the front of his tummy here. Just using a round cutter, and I'm going to use my knife just to make that a little bit more oval. Thinning out the edges. test that up against the body to see the size. I'm just using a scraper just to create those indentations in there. I flip that over. I'm just going to put a little bit of edible glue on there. Let's pop those legs off for a moment. And then sticking that on. So I'm just using again a little bit of edible glue, just a very small amount, just on the inside of the legs, and I'm just going to stick them on. It's just enough to make it sticky. It doesn't slide around. If you use a little bit too much, it tends to slide around on the body. It doesn't stick as well. So slightly pressing them on. Okay, so I'm just making the front legs now. The log shape, just cut it in half, making it thinner at one end. So with the fatter end, I'm just going to flatten that out a little bit just to make the paw. Using my modelling tool here just to cut the fingers in. Just pop that head off for a moment. I'm just going to cut that to an angle so it sits nice and neat on the side here. A little bit of edible glue, and then just sticking those on. I'm just going to pull the little hand around just so it's sitting on the tummy. Going to stick the head on now, just a little bit on the top of the body and the skewer, and then on the bottom of the head as well. And just sliding that on, just pressing down firmly but lightly. Okay, now for the tail, my camera actually switched off as it does after half an hour. Now I just made a cone shape and I flattened out the base of it and then popped a skewer in the end and just poked it into the body. Just attached it with some edible glue. Okay, so I'm making the little pads that go on the feet. So just little round balls and just flatten them out. Just a little bit of edible glue. Just sticking them on. cheeks. Same again, just little round balls and flattening them out. Again, just some edible glue. And just sticking them on. Just moving that back just a little bit. Smoothing around the edges there. Okay, so I'm just making the eyes. Just popping them in. And use a little bit of edible glue inside the eye socket just to hold them in. Smoothing that round. I use my ball tool just to go around the top and the edge of the eye. Making the pupils now, just flattening them out. So a little bit of edible glue on there or some water. And just popping them on and smoothing them out. Nice big pupils. Looking cute. Okay, so I'm just making the little white bits that go in the eye just to give a little bit of light shade. Just makes the eyes come alive. So just up in the top corners. So I'm making just a little bit of light shade just on the inner edge of the eye. as well on the pupil. Have it. I also did the eyebrows. Just rolled out little log shapes and just stuck them on. Just making the claws now. It's just little points. Stick them on with a little bit of edible glue. So I'm just going to make a little party hat to sit on his head. Unfortunately this was out of view, but I will describe as best as I can what I did here. I just made a cone shape and I flattened it out really flat on the bottom, and I used my forefinger and my thumb just to squeeze the base of it, just to make it really sharp. Rolled it in my fingers to give it that really good point at the top. So just checking for size there. Just rolling it in my fingers just to make it really sharp at the top. Some edible glue. Just sticking that on. Okay, I used a little bit of cotton, a thicker cotton, just for the little bit of string that goes around the party hat, around the chin. I just poke that in. You can use like a cocktail stick just to poke that string into the fondant. So I've just tied a little knot on either end. Just helps it to stay in the fondant a lot better. Just poking that straight into the base of the hat, right at the bottom on the side. Just a little bit of water or edible glue just on the string underneath his chin, just to make sure that that's going to hold there. There we go, he's all finished. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you did, like, share, subscribe, I'd love it. Thank you so much. Bye.